Leeds United are actively busy in the transfer market right now, and I will be honest, I just finished a stream talking about what the calendar would look like, and then I found out a little bit of news from Graham Smith that Leeds are eyeing a very exciting attacking signing on a free. And whilst a lot of people will see on a free and get spooked, let's remember all of the business from last season that we did on a free turned out to be pretty damn good. So, going to dive into all that. It's going to be a relatively quick video, but let's learn a little bit about Leeds United's interest in signing Julian Brandt. Before we do so, just subscribe to the channel. It's really quick and I'm trying to get to 8,000 relatively sharpish, so give me a hand, just boop that button down there. Thank you very much. About half of you haven't, which is a bit of a shame. Anyway, Leeds United are making a move for Borussia Dortmund's currently out of contract attacking midfielder Julian Brandt. German attacking midfielder, very good, has played for his country a few times, and I'm just having to fairly urgently pull up a little bit of information to make sure I get everything 100% correct. 48 caps for Germany, there we go. 30 years of age, you might think he's potentially over the hump, but this guy is a very high quality player. Out of contract because Borussia Dortmund are looking to go a little bit beyond him, but I think the conversation with Borussia Dortmund is very different to the conversation with Leeds United. He is a very good player. Plays out on the wing and in the 10, which is exactly what we're looking for in terms of the sort of Harry Wilson role. I'm sort of excited for if we manage to sign this one. However, there are a couple of issues behind it. The main one is that there is going to be a hell of a lot of interest in signing him. This isn't someone that has gone on a free because they've completely dropped off a cliff. Julian Brandt has a hell of a lot of appearances for Borussia Dortmund, specifically 218, 43 goals within those. I'm going to see if I can get specific statistics. And in addition to that, he managed to get 7 goals in the Bundesliga last season, 29 appearances. It's not like he's dropped off a cliff. It's not like he is a bad player in the slightest. He is still a significant part of that squad. Just the issue is Borussia Dortmund have probably seen an opportunity to sign someone to overtake him, which says that he's going to go for absolutely no money this summer, which is brilliant for Leeds United. He fits in very nicely to the majority of the sort of player profile bits that we look at in terms of his age. 30, admittedly slightly beyond the prime playing years that we looked at last season, where it was sort of 26, 27, 28. But he's got a hell of a lot of experience and can bring that sort of knowledge of the game with him to Leeds United. Sort of akin to how Sunderland did last year with Granit Xhaka. Massive transformation in the midfield. Sunderland benefited from that, and we would benefit in the same way from this. He's also got that massive height, which we expect from all Leeds United signings at the moment. He's 185 centimetres, as the Germans would put it, or 6'1", which means that he's also going to be a bit of a threat from set pieces. When it comes to set pieces, he's also very good at taking them, which is another absolutely fantastic addition. When we didn't have Anton Stach on the pitch last season, we felt a little bit lost from set pieces. With Julian Brandt available as well, odds are one of the two is going to be on the pitch, which means that we're going to have some absolutely banging free kicks time and time again. In addition to that, a hell of a lot of his playing style came from his sort of passing rather than his need of using pace and running up the pitch and all that kind of stuff, which means that he both fits the way that we like to attack sometimes under Daniel Farke with the sort of slow, methodical approach, but also it means that his legs aren't necessarily going to be going. If we sign him for 2 or 3 years, a 32-year-old Julian Brandt is still going to be an absolutely spectacular asset for a Premier League side because it's his passing that is key to his game, as opposed to imagine a 32-year-old Dan James. He's not going to quite be the same player as he is right now, as opposed to Adama Traore, who's gotten less explosive as time has gone on. Brandt isn't going to lose his ability to pass a football, which means that he's still going to be able to unlock defences with those nice little through balls. The challenge for us, to be honest, is the amount of interest from other places, which doesn't just include Premier League sides. According to Graham Smith, it is believed he has Champions League interest as well, which is scary. However, we have seen in the past that a Premier League side can sort of gazump a Champions League team by just the ability to have been in the Premier League. It's a mix of various factors. It is one, players like to have said that they've played in the Premier League at some point. It is the best domestic league in the world. It's not particularly close in terms of the average level of quality. The Bundesliga, towards the bottom end, dips below the Premier League, and let's be honest, towards the top end, there's Bayern Munich and then a gap. La Liga is just Barca, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, gap. And the bottom end of that is sort of very championshipy. Playing in the Premier League is a sort of nice addition to your CV, and if you've played in the Champions League as much as Julian Brandt has, which he's got, let's have a quick look, 98 appearances in Europe across his career, I feel like he's not going to be too bothered about going, yeah, well, I need to play a little bit of Champions League football before I retire. You've done that. At the end of the day, we have a hell of a lot of money on a free agent. We've proven with Dominic Calvert-Lewin we can offer a financial package that attracts players. Decent wage, decent signing on fee. I think that's going to be a very, very good signing for Leeds United, and I think we can beat a lot of the opposition to it. We've got a couple of other factors that help us as well. With Daniel Farke having that German link, it can help to have a link to a manager that is from the same culture that you're from. A lot of the reported reason that Weston McKennie just didn't work at Leeds United was the fact that he signed believing that he was signing for Jesse Marsch and he'd have that American link. Marsch was gone, and it didn't quite work for our next manager, who I keep forgetting the name of, who followed Jesse Marsch. It was the Spanish bloke that was a little bit boring and played in a 4-4-2. Can't quite remember. And it also didn't work for Scoobs or Big Sam. But moving on aside from that, you've also got the link with Anton Stach. I don't believe they've played together in the past, but it's good to have that existing link with people from your home country at a club that you're moving to. It's why we immediately tried to form those American bonds under Jesse Marsch, and it didn't work. But you can see at a hell of a lot of clubs that forming a couple of partnerships in terms of nationality is always fantastic. You'll see it with the Wales gang as another example. The fact that we've got between 4 and 6 Wales internationals, depending on how you define it, because we've also got Charlie Carew and Jayden Linu. It's good to have those little diasporas within your side to attract players from there. And it also makes them a little bit more comfortable once they move in. And it's ultimately very positive, and it helps to be in a World Cup era because the guy has been very, very good for World Cups as well. Part of the 23-man squad for the 2018 World Cup didn't go particularly well, but he's got experience on the biggest possible stages, so it means that he's not going to be one of those players that you look at from like Serie B or something, and a player with a really, really good CV, but he's not going to realistically do anything because he's not played on the big stages. That's not the case for Brandt. I think Brandt has the potential to be that signing that we need, that is the number 10 that unlocks things. Imagine a German Pablo Hernandez, is the way that I'm going to put that, because he sort of fits that profile of the number 10 that creates and unlocks defences. Ultimately, I think it would work very, very nicely for Leeds United, and if it's not Harry Wilson, I wouldn't mind it being Julian Brandt in the slightest. Does a very different job to Brendan Aronson, who would be in the same role doing all the pressing and stuff. But it's good to have those different profiles. It makes our toolkit very, very flexible, and hopefully we can get that one done. Anyway, as always, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, pop a like on it down below. Comment if you enjoyed, subscribe as well. That would be absolutely wonderful. I'm going to hopefully not get blindsided by any more news immediately after recording this one. Hope you enjoyed. I will see you later. Toodaloo, me amigos. Where's the end button? There it is. Ta-ra.